טוב ומנעים, שבטים גם יחד. הנה מה 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 טוב ומנעים, שבטים גם יחד.
Etc., 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 etc.
Such a pleasure seeing you.
Same here. Eduardo has COVID.
Oh, I love that piece. I'm so glad when that popped up. I was just like, yes, I get to sing that. Let's just start it. אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אהבת תורה תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם ולילה. So beautiful, isn't that? It's just so beautiful. And I should have rushed this. Oh, that's very sweet. There's one for the gang.
One for all of us.
But I'm going to be like hogging the middle of it. So
What's gonna happen when we stand? You're right.
he's like, what's going to happen when it stands? Like Brennan will be into it. So
Yeah,
maybe
it's like
should
writing
I
height.
should I go on the end?
No.
Care on the middle? No. What's the screaming? Is that like? It sounds like it's on a.
It sounds like it's on the speaker, like the baby.
Yeah, it does. Shema. There's less shadow. I think I'm okay. Shema's the right up the. No. Shema v'hapta. And are we standing for this one? Are we standing for this Shema? Okay. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod
Yes. No, I did.
And thou shalt love Adonai, thy God, with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And will these words which I command you on this day shall be in thy heart, shall be in thy heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children.
Do you remember this version of the song?
Thou shalt speak of them when thou sittest in thy house.
You know, if you grate your teeth while you do this, it doesn't make it better.
When thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up, and when thou risest up, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be for frontlets between thine eyes, and thou shalt write them on the doorposts of thy house, and upon thy gates, and upon thy gates, that ye remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God. So it's they shall.
Oh, really?
Karen, just to double check, am I awake? Yes. That one part that's solo, the rabbi's doing that. I just don't want there to be an awkward moment.
Yeah, like last week. Like,
Yeah, because we were both like looking at each other like, who's gonna do it? Who's gonna do it?
yeah, we were like, what's going on here?
Yeah, we did a couple weeks ago. So I think I'm good. Right? The Freed Mukamoko, remember that one? We did a couple weeks ago.
What? Which one?
Okay. Yep.
And then, you know that part, right?
What?
Or the Umir one. This, that's your part. Oh no, it's not. It must be a different one.
So after the Mihamocha, I have the Malchut Techa, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
See, that's, I have it like one. In
Okay.
one piece.
Okay. Sorry, Karen? Ki Yeshmerah, and then Ki Yeshmerah. Right? Okay. That right.
That's not right key though. What?
That's the tune of the code. Ki Yeshmerah Shabbat El Yishmereni. Ki Yeshmerah Shabbat El Yishmereni. Oti le'olead Eismereni, Yeshmera Shabbat, Eismereni. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a Baroque dance, actually.
What? Elohai, that's right. And Elohai. So I do the Elohai, and Carol, you do the top, and David, you do the say. I'll say. At least that's how it's
You
marked.
start it,
I
and
start
then
it?
I come in at B.
Okay.
And then David sings at C, pick
At
up
C.
the C, and then you do top, I do pita.
Okay.
For the second page. For the
You come in
second
at the pick
page,
up the C.
all the repeats.
And David, even though it doesn't say it, I love when you sing the last part twice along with everybody else.
So at D, just come in and do it twice.
Yeah, so I do every section with the beginning. I only do that because I love it.
So I got the score for Sport Joy. What have we got, Miss Absent? It's on the Passaggio. The 10 o'clock, you see it, 10 o'clock?
It's like a soprano. The soprano is all like,
They're on top of everything. Is the alto just like
the alto's
at the
high
top?
for, yeah.
And same thing with the bass. The
It's
bass
because-
is starting doing high E's and
Because
F's.
he was deaf
Who's crazy?
and crazy.
the solo
And not a
part-
singer,
The
obviously.
solo part is easier than the play.
It's a bear, it's a bear.
Oh my god.
I got
I
the,
have to do this.
I'm now the chorus manager as of February
Oh, so
29th.
what's her name? Alexandra?
No,
The one who was there.
yeah, she
Alexis.
didn't, no.
The soprano.
She didn't want to do it anymore. She was going to retire at the end of the season, well, quit at the end of the season, and she said,
Who's the tenor section leader? Somebody.
couldn't tell you.
It's alright.
They didn't give me all the thing.
They didn't give you all the thing.
They just
took the
told me.
job without even-
No, well, they interviewed me the day that you had your audition, and then we were not back and forth. They asked me how much money I wanted. I'm like, I didn't even think about that because, so I told them how much money they wanted. A couple days later, they got 2 days ago, they got back with me. Okay. Eduardo wanted me to ask more, but I was like, I knew what she was making, and I thought I can't ask for that. They're not gonna, yeah, because Diane said, remember, we're nonprofit.
So John said it's like always alive in my eye.
So that's always
So,
live.
yeah, but when we're up, it's gonna be like,
Yeah, because that's going to be a problem. This is a problem
no, it's not.
because I can't stand further back. Yeah, let's move it further out and further down. Better.
You think it's close enough? Yeah.
I think the problem, I think, I don't think it's a problem.
No.
I don't think we don't stand that much. And when we stand, we're kind of facing this way,
Okay.
right? I think yeah, because when we stand, we're really facing, we're not facing, except for the power of these, it's like for one thing. It'll be fine.
Okay.
They'll never know. They'll know. They'll never know.
I have the crappiest Hebrew, and it's going to catch all the words. I can't. Now with just three of us, I really can't hide.
And with the higher voice, your voice is gonna
It's gonna.
It's gonna cut anyway.
it cuts through
Because it's got a lot of higher overtones.
just because of the register that you sing. It just isn't adequate.
Okay.
You don't have to work as hard. You don't have to work as hard.
Well, I think the problem is you couldn't hear it so well. All you could hear was Rabbi sing when we sang together.
Oh really?
Yeah, and then when it was just like a choir thing, the volume was really loud. Because I listened to like a couple of things I was like, and she sang.
You just heard. Okay.
It's hot.
It's hot.
Yeah, that's why I was just like, see his shadow.
Cannot see the shadow, so spring is coming.
The custodian at work left me a note. No shadow.
My son in Atlanta and my daughter in Maryland, they both called. When they texted, they said, Punxsutawney Phil said that it's this. It's like, why are you even paying attention to this oversized rodent? But why not? You know, they're from Pennsylvania, getting back to their roots.
Because he always sees his shadow.
Does he?
Well, they said 2 years in a row, like a few years back, he didn't. But how can you not see your shadow with all the TV lights there?
Oh,
You know?
well, you said early spring this time, right?
Yeah, it's 6 weeks.
I'll take it.
It's going to be spring when it's spring.
It's going to be spring. It's spring. That's right.
So yeah, he's been in bed all week.
Oh, when did he get it?
I think Monday morning he woke up and said, I'm not feeling good. I was like, so Monday night, when I came back from work Monday, and he was still in bed, I said, are you sleeping in here?
That's right.
I will bring you your food. It's been nice knowing you.
Goodbye, honey.
You have a TV,
You're
nice
fine.
queen size bed to yourself.
Yeah.
And today was the first day he'd gone out of bed.
Oh my goodness. So he's been down. Yeah.
So, honestly, I blame my son because Pablo was sick before and I was like, it's cold, it's cold, it's cold. Test yourself. Well, I don't need to test. If it was COVID, it would be, you know. No, we went to work and a lot of people, Lowe's apparently were sick because his girlfriend came to the house and asked him. I said, what's the matter? She said, there's a lot of people who are sick. And I just looked at him like, she has a decency to wear a mask in my house, and you don't.
Yeah.
So, but he's like, I didn't have it, I wouldn't be sick. And granted, he was not like everybody was really sick. So, I went to the the Bethlehem Health Department, and they gave me 6 free COVID tests.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
What a wonderful energy we have here in the sanctuary tonight. People meeting and greeting one another as we usher in the Sabbath day. Welcome, everyone. We begin in a moment with the singing of Hine Matov. Hine Matov, as many of you know, is a song about gathering together and becoming a community. And before we begin, though, I wanted to just draw your attention to the fact that today is kind of a special day. We are approaching Rosh Chodesh. Anyone know which Rosh Chodesh it is? Which month, though? Beats you. Okay, so we just finished the month of Shvat. So now we are entering the month of Adar. Now, so this is one of those rare years when it is a leap year in the Gregorian calendar, but it is also a leap year in the Jewish calendar. So the Gregorian calendar has a leap year every 4 years. We know this, yes. Anyone know the frequency of the Hebrew calendar? Yeah, Marianne? Okay, so there are 2 months in a leap year, 2 months of Adar. Hold on, David. Lanny, what do you got? What? Okay, I was under the impression that it was 7 out of 19. Well, I'll look it up later. But 7 out of 19 always makes me laugh because, of course, that is just like the most prime number-y thing that there could possibly be. But in any event, this is a Hebrew leap year. So we add an entire month. The month of Adar usually has what holiday? Purim. So this is the month that normally would be Purim, but we're actually going to wait until 2nd Adar, Adar Sheni, also known as Adar Bet, to actually celebrate Purim. But just as a little hint, later in our service, we're going to be singing a Purimi song, just to get us excited about the double month that's coming up. We're going to begin with Hine Matov, page 10. Let's join our voices together and become the congregation, the community that this song evokes.
Hine matov u'manayim, sheberachim gam yachad. 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 Hine matov u'manayim, sheberachim gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom. We continue our service with the lighting of candles, with the recitation of Kiddush, and with the Motzi. It's my pleasure to call forward Nora Mayer and her dad, Kyle, to please help us with these brachot, these blessings. We begin on page 2.
B'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'halik ner shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
And we continue with Kiddush on page 5. I'm going to give these tiny little Kiddush goblets to my Bima partners here. And Nora and Kyle are going to begin our blessing for us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kadsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קדשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. L'chaim. Okay, Nora, you want to take the cover off of our challah and start us off. We'll all join together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. So, Nora and Kyle, you can dig into the challah. We are going to take a moment before we welcome the Sabbath bride to welcome one another. I encourage you to get up, wish one another Shabbat Shalom, even cross the aisle. You don't even need to stay in your seats. And we'll join back together in a few moments after greeting one another.
Rebecca's coming back? In 2 weeks. Oh. So we're going to return to our seats, and we are taking all the love in this room, and we are also sending it forward through the camera because we're so grateful that so many members of our community are able to join us remotely. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to be continuing with Lecha Dodi, led by Carol and our choir, which can be found on page 20. Just as a reminder, Lecha Dodi in our congregation, we sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And on the 9th verse, we'll rise. Mike Obensky will open the door to allow the Sabbath bride to enter into our midst, and we'll face the door and bow as we sing the final verse. Please join in. Page 20. Likrat kala, pene Shabbat, nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat, nekabela. Shamor v'zachar.
bechor b'dibur echad. Hishmiyanu el hamiuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad. L'shem u'tiferet v'litila lechad dodi likrat kala. B'nei Shabbat nekabela lechad dodi likrat kala. B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechuvenelcha, ki hi mekor haveracha, merosh mikedem nesuchas, sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila. Likrat dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, kiva orech kumi uri, uri shir daberi, kavod Adonai ala yichnikla lechad dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechad dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Boi
Shalom,
ateret ba'ala,
gam besimcha u'b'tzohola, toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, boi chala. Lechad dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechad dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. We remain standing for Baruch Hu. We begin with Am I Awake, which can be found in your pamphlet. And I would be grateful if someone could give me a pamphlet as well. Thank you so much. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Do you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. We continue on page 30. We read together, "Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Before we continue, I want to ask if anybody received anything when you came in to the sanctuary tonight, and I wonder if you might hold it up. Okay, so for those at home who can't see, although maybe you can really see, these are little tiny flashlights that say, Congregation Knesset Israel, a caring community. They are the gift of an angel in our community who wanted to help to bring light to the Lehigh Valley through KI, bring light to our lives, and to highlight how KI is a beacon. And I, of course, think that this moment in our service, when we're talking about light and darkness and the power of God's ability to bring light into our world. Yeah, I don't know if people at home can see, but they're trying to like blare it, like put it right in your eye. It's not nice. It's not nice. So thank you. I know that you will enjoy these and be safe with them. And I hope that they will light your way as we continue with Ahavat Olam, page 32.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, b'shofbenu u'bekumenu, nasiach b'chukecha, v'nizmach b'divrei toratecha, u'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu, ve'orech yamenu, uvehem negeh yomam v'layla.
V'havatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. We continue with the Shema, page 34. Shema Yisrael, Adonai
Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malchuto, Leolam, Leolam Va'ed. You may be seated. You can follow along in your insert for the Ve'ahavta tonight, and thou shalt love. shalt love Adonai, thy God, with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And all these words which I command you on this day shall be in thy heart, shall be in thy heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and thou shalt speak of them when thou sittest in thy house, when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be for frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them on the doorposts of thy house, and upon thy gates, and upon thy gates, that ye may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God. We read together at the top of page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Page 40, Mi Chamocha. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha neder b'kodesh.
Nora tehilot asef melech,
Nora tehilot asef melech.
mi
Chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha neder b'kodesh. Nora tehilot asef melech, Nora tehilot asef melech.
Mahotaha ra'uvanecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam
Ze'yanu ve'amru Adonai yimloch, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed.
V'ne'amar kivata Adonai et Yaakov ugalo meyad hazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Gad Yisrael.
Together on the top of page 42, we reach out our hearts yearning for protection and safety in these dark hours. No? Yep. Yep. What? Yeah. I got a peanut gallery tonight. Hashkivenu is at the top of page 42. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, v'taknenu be'etza tova milfanecha, v'hoshienu lama'an shemecha. At the bottom of the page, grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch ata Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. We continue with Vishamru, page 44.
Yisrael, et ha-Shabbat, et ha-Shabbat, לעשות, et ha-Shabbat, לדורותם ברית עולם.
We rise for the Amidah, page 46. Hananananana Adonai, Hananananana Sfatai Tiftach, Hananananana Ufi Yagid, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha, Hananananana Adonai, Hananananana Sfatai Tiftach, Hananananana Ufi Yagid, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha, Hananananana Adonai, Hananananana Sfatai Tiftach, Hananananana Ufi Yagid, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chaste Avot V'Imahot Umevi Gula Livnei V'neihem Leman Shemo B'Ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch Ata Adonai Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechaye HaKol Ata Rav Lehoshia Mashiv Haruach U'Morid HaGashem Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofeh Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Micha Mocha Baal Gevurot Umido Melach Melech Meimit Umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman Ata Lehachayot HaKol Baruch Ata Adonai Mechaye HaKol Ata Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh U'Kadoshim B'chol Yom Yahalalu Chasela Baruch Ata Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. You may be seated. We continue on page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch Ata Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Together we read at the top of page 57. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands. You are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch Ata Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. One of the most profound spiritual tools that we have as human beings is the ability to turn our attention to the blessings, the occurrences, the moments, the relationships, the gifts in our lives, and be able to breathe and pause and give thanks. Sometimes when we give thanks, the act itself brings us back to the reality of the blessing, of the nature of the thing for which we're grateful as in fact a gift. And so, as is our custom here at KI, we, in place of the reciting the traditional Hoda'ah prayer, which begins Modim Anachnu Lach, we will instead invite those of us who are gathered to please call to mind something that you're grateful for, you at home too, and hold it there in your mind. And if you feel moved to share briefly the thing for which you're grateful, We love to hear it, and then we'll reply with Modim Anachnu Lach.
Last week, we got to fall in love with another grandchild and watch another pair of children being parents.
Modim Anachnu Lach. Come over there.
Chala.
Chala. That's awesome. Modim Anachnu Lach.
I have a silly one. I love my seniors, and they love it when I do silly things with them. So we celebrated Groundhog Day today, and I made them groundhog cookies.
Out of groundhogs? No. Modim Anachnu Lach.
For the most wonderful, joyful experience we had on the bus and the whole day on Wednesday with KI members, seeing Hannah Hakim be wonderful on stage. It was joyful.
Modim Anachnu Lach.
I'm grateful for laughter.
Modim Anachnu Lach.
Good health.
Modim Anachnu Lach.
Just to echo what Marianne was saying about the bus trip to New York, I am thankful for the camaraderie that we had as a group on the bus and at the theater. It was just fantastic.
Modim Anachnu Lach.
Also about Wednesday, how much time and effort was put into and thoughtfulness to make the trip, especially on the bus, so much fun with Chef Eric's ideas for snacks. It was great.
Modim Anachnu Lach. If you got one more. Hold on.
I'm grateful that Ed Rosenfeld found a large print book for me.
Modim Anachnu Lach. If you're in need of a large print book, I hope you'll let one of the leadership know so that we can hook you up with that.
I'm grateful to Vicki Dunn for all the work she did to make Wednesday a wonderful day.
Modim Anachnu Lach. So, even if you haven't said anything out loud, I hope that you'll hold in your heart or in your mind in this moment something for which you're grateful. And everybody watching at home, you too, although I did want to once again mention that if you let me know in advance that you're going to be watching from home and you have a gratitude to share, I'm happy to share it with the congregation aloud. But we hold those gratitudes, those things for which we're grateful, hold it like a light, like a flame within us, and we say together, Modim Anachnu Lach. We pray silently.
Sixty-two.
ושפתיים ידבר מרמה. אלוהי נצור לשוני מהרה, ושפתיים ידבר מרמה.
פתח ליבי, פתח ליבי בתורתך. פתח ליבי, פתח ליבי בתורתך.
עשה למען שמך, עשה למען ימינך, עשה למען קדושתך, עשה למען תורתך. אלוהי נצור לשוני מהרה, ושפתיים ידבר מרמה. אלוהי נצור לשוני מהרה, ושפתיים ידבר מרמה. Elohai netzor l'shoni teha u'shvatai yadber mitecha. Elohai netzor l'shoni teha u'shvatai yadber mitecha.
On the bottom of 62, Yehiyu l'ratzon imrefi, v'hegyon libi lefanecha Adonai suri v'goali. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. So, a microphone will be good. So, I want to begin my remarks tonight with a joke. So, a rabbi, an imam, and a priest walk into a bar. It's not really going to be a joke. It's just an introduction. Because I want to talk about this week's Parsha, Parshat Yitro, and it's actually one of my favorite Parshiot. Not because it contains the Ten Commandments, which is interesting in and of itself, but because of what happens before we receive revelation at Sinai, before we receive the word of God at the mountain. Does anybody remember a scene that happens prior to God revealing the Torah? It involves a character coming in from the wings. I mean, I'll tell you if you don't know. Okay. Yeah, Laney.
Yitro.
Yitro. Who's Yitro?
Father-in-law of Moses.
Okay, so Moses' father-in-law, Yitro, Jethro in English. If you recall, Moses ran off to live in the land of Midian and to be a shepherd there. He wasn't just a shepherd on his own. He actually lived in the household of the man who became his father-in-law. His wife was Zipporah, who he met at the well when he first arrived, and they ended up getting married. And his father-in-law was a Midianite priest named Jethro. Now, Jethro was just a really... he's seen by the Bible as a really positive figure. But he was Midianite, he was not Israelite, but this doesn't seem to be a problem in the Torah, that Moses was marrying a Midianite. just FYI, when people come to you and say, oh, intermarriage, you can point out that there are lots of places in the Torah where it seems to not be a problem at all. In any event, Moses has been separate from his family for a while, and he's been dealing with the Israelites and getting through the sea and dealing with their complaining and dealing with all of the challenges of not knowing what was going to happen next and trying to get everybody mobilized. And Jethro comes to him with his children and his wife and greets Moses. And one of the things that's always struck me as so special about this moment is that these men are not just men who love each other, but they are both leaders of their respective peoples. And so when Jethro comes and he says to Moses, tell me about what's been going on, and Moses tells him the whole saga of all the good things and all the bad things and everything that the Israelites have endured, Yitro is joyous. He's joyous for their deliverance. He's grateful to God, and he acknowledges the miracle that has occurred for the Israelites. So he comes to a foreign people, and he celebrates them on their own terms, with their own God at the center. And then furthermore, Yitro watches Moses in his leadership for a while. Does anybody remember what he sees when he watches Moses in his leadership? Mike, I could see you nodding over here.
He saw that Moses wanted to do everything himself, and he wasn't delegating.
Okay, so are we talking about the dishes?
Yes.
No, we're not talking about the dishes. What are we talking about? What is Moses doing all by himself? Lanny?
Resolving issues.
Resolving issues, like acting as a judge, right? So people will come to him and they'd say, that guy took my donkey, and he said, it never was your donkey, it was my donkey. And he says, no, it was my donkey. I know because it had that mark on it. They're arguing back and forth, right? So this is a small claims court issue, but there were also big claims issues, issues of conflict, which, as you can imagine, would undoubtedly arise as this nation is in formation and trying to live together, even in the wilderness, especially perhaps in the wilderness. And he sits there and he receives and receives and receives person after person, case after case after case. But something starts to happen, and Yitro is the one that points it out to Moses. The people sometimes are waiting in line so long for Moses to hear their case and for it to be adjudicated that they start to take matters into their own hands. And you know what happens when people decide that they don't need the courts and they're going to take matters into their own hands. It's not a good situation. Yitro says to Moses, you're going to wear yourself out. So as a loving father-in-law and as a leader with insight of his own from how you lead a community, he says, you can't do this alone. You're going to wear yourself out. It's not fair to the people, and you're going to wear them out. He says you need to pick respectable members of the community, Anshe Chayil, people of integrity, who can judge smaller cases. And he basically suggests setting up a delegated court system. And so the Moses would only hear the large cases. And it's interesting because Yitro comes forward, he has this great idea, and he presents it to another people who are busy doing things their own way, right? It looks like we have this way that we're doing it. And he comes and he's very respectful when he first celebrates the miracles that the people encountered, and therefore sets the stage for being able to say, and here's something maybe that could be helpful, right? He's a trusted ally, because he's able to enter into that space with the people, the space of joy, the space of being part of the Israelite nation that is growing and becoming itself. One of the things I love about this story is that it's a really good example to us of how to be a perfect stranger. That when we're not part of a community, it doesn't mean there's no place for us to walk through the door. But it does mean that the sensitivities and the thoughtfulness and the openness that we bring to everything we encounter is really important to hold forward in our hearts. Yitro didn't come to just talk about himself and talk about the issues that were important to the Midianites. In fact, in the Torah, it doesn't sound like he talks about that at all. He's there to be of service to this community. I think a lot of times, whether it's through international aid or interfaith programming or just talking to a neighbor that you don't know, sometimes we forget to open ourselves up to the place in which the other stands. It actually can be a great gift that we offer one another, because when someone acts that way toward you, you feel affirmed and you feel seen. And just like with Moses and Yitro, those places where you feel weak, where you feel strain, where you feel at odds with your situation, you can get help when you have the kind of relationship with the people advising you that you trust. That when the people set up a foundation with you and you have a relationship that's about really seeing you or you seeing the other person, it means that we can support one another in deeper ways, in ways that touch the soul and touch the story that each of us participates in differently. A priest and an imam and a rabbi walk into a bar, and they all have a story to tell, but they also each have a story or two to listen to. And they can offer guidance, and they can offer love, and they can offer support because of the ways that they listen. Shabbat Shalom. Our hearts are heavy with thoughts of Israel. And so tonight, we're going to join together in this blessing, this prayer by Karen Kadar, entitled Peace, Please. We gather together in faith and with hope to pray for peace and for the safety of the people of Israel and innocent victims among the Palestinian people. Help us, O Holy One, and protect us in our hour of need. Touch our hearts, lest they be hardened with despair. Guide our thoughts, lest they be overcome with fear. Bring healing to the wounded, strength to those in mourning, courage to those in fear, wisdom to those who lead. Yedid Nefesh, beloved one, reveal yourself and fill the world with your light. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Be quick, God of love, for the time has come. Have mercy upon us, Eternal One of peace. In preparation for the Mishaberach, in addition to reading the names of those in our community, here at KI in the Lehigh Valley in the lives of those in our congregation who are in need of healing. We also call to mind the names of the hostages who remain in captivity in Gaza, with the hope that they may be safe and safely returned home soon. Abraham Gilad ben Emunah, Agam bat Meirav, Alexander ben Oksana, Sasha Alexander ben Yelena, Alexander ben Nina, Almog ben Nira, Almog ben Orit, Alon ben Idit, Amiram ben Sarah, Amit Esther Chaya bat Ilana, Andre ben Yevgenia, Arbel bat Yael, Ariel ben Shiri, Ariel ben Silvana, Avraham ben Agranesh, Avinatan ben Ditza Tirza, Bar Avraham ben Julia, Bipin Joshi, Carmel bat Kineret, Chaim ben Nechama, Chen Hanan ben Vered, Daniel Shimon ben Sharon, Daniela bat Orli, David ben Silvana, Dolev ben Yael, Doron bat Sarah, Dror ben Dorit, Idan ben Yael, Eden bat Shirit, Etan Avraham ben Ephrat, Etan ben Rut, Elad ben Chana, Karina bat Ira, Kfir ben Shiri, Lior ben Michal, Liri bat Shira, Matan ben Miriam, Matan ben Enav, Maxime ben Tela, Michel ben Solomira, Naama ben bat Ayelet, Nadav ben Chana, Nimrod ben Vicky, Noah bat Leora, Norberto Luis ben Nura, Oded ben Bilcha, Ofer ben Kochava, Ohad ben Esther, Ohad ben Esther, Omer ben Malka, Omer ben Neva, Omer ben Orna Esther, Omri ben Veronica Esther, Or ben Geula, Ori ben Enav Efrat, Orion Hernandez Radu, Kaid Farhan Al-Qadi, Ron ben Talik, Rom ben Tamar Noah, Romi bat Meirav, Ron ben Chana, Sagui ben Naamit, Segev ben Galit, Shiri bat Margalit, Eliah ben Sigalit, Eliyahu ben Chana, Elkanah ben Ruchama, Eliakim Shlomo ben Avishag, Emily Tehila bat Amanda, Aviatar ben Yasmin Gila, Fernando Shimon ben Tanya, Gadi Moshe ben Sarah, Gali ben Tamar, Guy ben Merav, Hamza al-Ziadna, Hersh ben Perelchana, Hisham ben Manai al-Sayed, Idan ben Dalit, Itai ben Mirit, Itai ben Chagit, Itzik ben Chana, Shlomi ben Rosita Ira, Shlomo ben Marcel, Keith Shmuel ben Gladys, Tal ben Nitza, Tamir ben Cherut, Tzachi ben Devora, Oriel ben Naomi, Yagev ben Esther, Yair ben Flor, Yair ben Ruth Idit, Yarden ben Penina, Yitzchak ben Gila, Yoram ben Miriam, Yosef Chaim ben Miriam, Yusuf al-Ziadna, Ziv ben Tamar. We hope that they will be brought home soon, much as we hope that those in our community in need of healing will be brought to healing soon as well. We think of Shana Albert, Robert Alexander, Mac Beeson, Teresa Bell, Kitty Berger, Gershona Binyamina bat Sarah Valevi, Chaya Shana Dinka bat Esther Basha Yosef, Ellery Einstein, David Eiskowitz, Rivka Elka bat Root, Marianne Gardosky, Francis Gentlecore, Jamie Gordon Rodriguez, Mikhail Gordon, Harav Rachel bat Fruma, Emily Hochstedler, Nick Jelinski, Diane Levine, David Levine, Monica Manella, Dionozio Mistich, Wilburn Nichols, Phyllis Orsoff, Felice Price, Lois Ratner, Shauli Rosenberg, Chadi San Andres, Dr. Norm Sarachek, Michael Scarce, Susan Scarce, Rose Schlossberg, Carrie Silver, Peggy Stetner, Ethel Zager, Marcy Zolkos. I want to invite you to add any names to this list, the names of anyone for whom you're praying for healing tonight. We join together in the singing of Misha Berach, which can be found on your insert on the page with the tree. Misha Berach Avoteinu, Avraham, Yitzchak veYaakov. Misha Berach Imotenu, Sarah Rivka Leah Berachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the ones who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer. Hear our prayer. Hear our prayer. Hear our prayer. And bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hold. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Misha Berach Avoteinu, Avraham, Yitzchak veYaakov. Misha Berach Imotenu, Sarah Rivka Leah Berachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the ones who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer. Hear our prayer. Hear our prayer. Hear our prayer. And bless us as well. May you hear our prayer and bless us as well. Here in our community, in our families, in our hearts, and far across the globe, where people suffer and need your healing too. Amen. We continue with announcements, which will be offered to us by Martina, who is going to share some greetings and announcements. Martina.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I want to welcome you to our service this evening for all of you in the sanctuary, and certainly for those of you watching online. Join us tomorrow morning for Torah study. We begin at 9:30 in the multipurpose room. Please enter through the 23rd Street doors, because that will give you access to the building. On most Thursday mornings from 10:30 to noon, join Rabbi Tornberg in person or online for Lishma. Listen, learn, listen. I'm not sure what that's about, but I'm sure it's very interesting. And this Sunday, February 4th, Lifelong Learning in the Spirit of Bikur Kolim will present the documentary American Hospitals, a film by Vince Mandela. Charlie, is there still room for walk-ins? Don't miss it. It's going to be a wonderful program. Next Friday is Shabbat Friends. This is a fun group of people who get together before services, have a little dinner, and if you're interested in joining this group of fun people, please see either Barbara Munch or our resident person, Babs Cohen. Mark the weekend of March 15th through the 17th on your calendar. That will be our Scholar in Residence weekend with Dr. Lewis Gordon on exploring Jewish identity in turbulent times. There are so many other activities coming up. Check your bulletin, go to our website, or watch Let's Stay Connected for more information or registration. If you're interested in participating in our volunteer choir, please reach out to Karen Berta. Her contact information is in the bulletin, or you can corral her after services tonight. At the conclusion of tonight's service, join us for the Oneg Shabbat in the multipurpose room. And I hear there's rumors of more ice cream. Shabbat Shalom.
One other announcement, Rabbi's prerogative. So as it is the month of Adar 1, we are preparing for Adar 2, March 23rd. We're going to be celebrating an adult version of Purim, which is March 23rd. It will be Saturday night. And we are looking for people who are interested. This is just an opportunity. Interested in learning to chant a little bit of the book of Esther using the traditional Esther trope. Now, there are 10 chapters, and you might say to yourself, I can't do a whole chapter. Well, I can't either. So what we're offering is if you'd like to learn one verse or two verses or 3 or 5, we would love to provide you with a recording and also work with you to be able to share a little bit of the sound of the book of Esther with our community. So we have lots of opportunities. Even if you're not super musical, it can be a really interesting learning experience. So you can speak to Alex Milanich or to myself, and we will make sure to hook you into that project. We're going to continue with Aleinu, which can be found on page 282. It's my pleasure to call forward Dan Poreski and Julie Thomasis to open the ark as we rise, page 282.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol latet gedula leotzer breshit shelo asanu kagoye ha'aratzot velo samanu kimishbechot ha'adama shelo sam chelkenu kahem vegoralenu ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. Temple by Jennifer Rudick Zunikoff. May the day arrive when every life is a treasure, when every death is a devastation. That is the day that the burial of any one child in any one land will bring forth the great cry, an anguish so complete that the following day, everyone who has ever created a weapon will now build an instrument. This is the day the Levites will play, the day each child will be a celebration, the day the world will be the temple. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. We also call to mind the 6 million of our martyred brethren who perished in the Shoah, and all who gave their lives in defense of Jewish ideals here in the United States, in Israel, and around the globe. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing. In a moment, I'm going to read the names of those whose yahrzeits are being observed in our KI community, and if you hear the name of someone for whom you're here to say Kaddish, I invite you to rise, and if you're comfortable, remain standing so that we might acknowledge your loss and encompass you with our support. We remember Esther Barron, David Benton, Matilda Bruckner, Blanche Fisher, Morris Goldman, Joseph Goodman, Rima Gervitz, Marlon Katz, Mark Klein, Joel Klein, Jack Kushner, Harold Landau, Louis Lenny, Joseph Lubell, Ernest Mello, Lily Mendelson, Helen Pell, Paulina Phillips, William Refowich, Adolf Rubenstein, Charlotte Salinger, Nathan Saslow, Ethel Turchinsky, Leah Very, Bernard Weber. I invite you to add any names to this list, the names of anyone for whom you're saying Kaddish tonight. Donna. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing. We rise as one congregation and join together in the words of Kaddish, page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, v'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivarach le'olam ula'almei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal, shemed kudusha b'richu, la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran b'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, Ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel and all the world, and comfort to all who are bereaved, as together we say, Amen. You may be seated. Our closing song is on page 330, Ki Eshmera Shabbat. Please join with us. Ki Eshmera Shabbat, El Yishmereni. Ki Eshmera Shabbat, El Yishmereni. Oti leomead beno uveni. Oti leomead beno uveni. Ki yashmera Shabbat el yishmereni. Ki yashmera Shabbat el yishmereni. We rise for our closing benediction. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding, as if a light shines before us. Loved, each of us, for the peace we bring to others, for the understanding, the sensitivity, the presence we bring to another's moment. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. That light ahead of us, it rises up like the sun, like you, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.